Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have the completion of the Steel Redeemer campaign to go through with you, and also the purchase of the USS BENHAM. So I've been pretty lucky over the course of this campaign. I managed to complete some of the hard mode challenges. So I've got the ship a little bit early, and she's ready to be purchased. So I'm just going to be spending my 2,500 gold, I believe it is. So yeah, I'm going to take you through that process. We're going to have a look at the ship, and we're going to have a first play as well. This campaign's been pretty cool. It's been some pretty good and easy challenges to get the ship. Nothing too difficult. I did wish that they had made the hard mode challenges maybe like tier 4 and onwards instead of tier 5. That was a bit crappy, but still got to achieve a few. And obviously it also had the legend ship status ones to complete as well. I actually don't have any of the legend ships, so that was a bit wasted on me, but they were still okay, and still a bit of fun, and I think added to a little bit of the to the progress of the campaign, having something else to aim for rather than just the weekly challenges, which of course can be done pretty damn quickly. So let's have a look. If I go to purchase here, I can see if I spend the 2,500, I can get myself the tier 6 premium destroyer BENHAM, and that also gives me a rundown of all the other things that I'm going to be getting a hold of if I do purchase the ship. So as you can see, I get 500 gold back, so the ship's actually about 2,000 gold. So you're looking at a ship value of maybe I'm thinking about the $10 sort of mark, as opposed to buying this ship if it was just a standard premium ship. It could be up somewhere around the $40-50 mark, something like that. I'm just guessing, of course, but that's what makes these campaigns so good. You get a pretty high tier premium ship for pretty much nothing, and to be honest, World of Warships has given away a lot of gold recently. This is probably the last time, as I won't be getting a lot of gold back, that I'm going to actually have pretty low amount of gold for for a change. Has been a long time since I've had that, as most of the campaigns have given you a lot of gold, and there's been a lot of free giveaways, as well as some stuff in the bureau. And yeah, get a lot of consumables, a lot of camos there, which will help especially if you're melting down and making your own camos for ships, which I have done with my favourite Japanese destroyer. So I may even melt down some more now and give her even more of a buff, and remain hidden for even longer, which is which would be pretty amazing, as she's already very stealthy. I get 1.35 million, which would be a nice little addition, and a fair bit of global XP as well, or free XP, or whatever you want to call it. Some promotion orders, which is going to be great, and of course some boxes as well, some crates. So pretty good little package. I would have liked to have got maybe like 1,000 gold back or 1,500 gold back. That would have been nice, but that is asking for a lot. But I'm pretty excited to get this ship. So let's do it. Let's purchase the ship right here, and we've got it. Okay. Now I've already started actually wondering what the next ship will be. The next campaign, I'm really hoping it's a German ship, but I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if it goes back to one of the older nations' ships. But I'm very curious as to already to know what the the next one would be. I wish there was a hint. It might be another Italian ship. Okay, so let's have a look at the BENHAM. Okay, so I've added the BENHAM into my favourites list here. I will be having a bit of a play with it, definitely, now that I've got it. So let's throw on our commander. Now, I believe ARLEIGH BURKE, yes. So ARLEIGH BURKE is my sort of go-to American destroyer commander. Got a pretty good setup. He's got Legendary 1 status, I guess you call it. And he's at 13. Now that I actually have some insignias, I could actually get him up to 15 if I wanted to, but I think for now I'm just going to leave him as is. Now, of course, this ship comes with its own camo, but what I am going to do is chuck on our early adopter flag, our battle booster, and a few of the other little boosters, just while we're at it. Now, one good thing, now I'm not exactly sure how I got it, but there was a challenge where I'm getting the Benham's battle flag. And here it is here, Saviour of the Seas. Now, it was a personal mission just to obtain the Benham flag. Now, I have already got the Knocking Off the Rust 2 and Knocking Off the Rust 3. They were pretty easy. They were just earn a certain amount of credits and XP. But the first one must be completed in the standard battle or battle versus AI, only in the Benham. And now that I have the Benham, yeah, I can do it. I can go for it. Now, I only need 25,000 XP. Look, you know, that's it's a reasonable amount, but that will be doable. But it looks awesome. Like, I actually get Benham's little flag there and be able to pop that on and have something different rather than my early adopter flag. So pretty excited about that. Now, as you can see, that campaign mission actually ends in 6 days. So I only have 6 days now to get that done. So it looks like I'm going to be playing a bit of the Benham. Now, on that, I guess we may as well put a XP booster on. Might as well go there 100%. Beautiful. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a look at the USS Benham here. So first off, I'm going to hide the UI, and we're going to have a look at her because she is beautiful. She's a very sleek and very deadly looking ship. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video I made on the Benham, that is what I'm most excited about, the port and starboard double twin double it's quadruple, I don't know what the word is, but there's 8 torpedo launchers on each side, and that's pretty damn cool. I also like the fact she sits so low in the water. That's good. Presents herself as a bit of a smaller target, and she's also very slim from the front. So, beautiful looking ship. Nice camo too. So yeah, going to be very interested to see how she goes in a firefight. Okay, so we're going to have a look here. So some of her pluses are extended smoke, increased smoke screen duration. Now, if you have American destroyers already, especially the high tier ones. I'm not sure if the lower tier ones had it, but they do have the extended smoke, which is really good. In the Fletcher, it's fantastic. You can run yourself a nice smoke screen, sit behind it, and fire off your HE shells like crazy. It's really good. Big yield, above average torpedo damage. Now, I would believe that's because of the number of torpedoes, not because of how much each torpedo actually damages. And the, well, you could call it a negative, but I think it's more of a neutral. Sluggish shot, difficult to aim at long distances, but the trajectory allows for effective fire from cover. So a lot of American ships are like that. They can sort of hide behind islands and shoot over them, and shooting from cover. It's actually very cool. I love doing that in the light cruisers. But yeah, it does make long shooting, especially at fast-moving targets, a little bit tricky. But well, I was going to say that's not really what she's about, but the American destroyers, unfortunately, are a little bit about their guns. Okay, so let's have a look at the details of the Benham. The lead ship of a series of destroyers whose main whose main armament comprised 4 quadruple torpedo tubes. Okay, quadruple torpedo tubes placed along both sides of the ship. Okay, maybe take out there. In addition to dual-purpose 127mm guns. So at the moment, those dual-purpose guns really only have a single purpose, but I presume once aircraft carriers come in, they may finally fulfill their dual-purpose role in the game. She entered service in 1939, and there were 10 ships in the series. So yeah, pretty large series. Entered the war at a pretty good time. And of course, she's a Tier 6 premium. So one of the only things that is going to hold her back is that, yes, she is at Tier 6. So she's definitely has the potential of coming up against Tier 7 ships, which I think should be pretty outclassed. If you're lucky enough to come up against the Tier 5 ships, and you're probably going to have a big smile on your face. But I think even at Tier 6, it's going to be pretty tough for her. But let's have a look at the stats. So survivability of 14,500. Armour is 6 to 20. Now I think that's all sounds pretty standard. The artillery is 127mm guns. There's 4 of them, and they're all single turrets. A range of 10.8. I think that's pretty good. That's pretty typical of this higher tier American destroyers. Reload time of 4 seconds. Nice. And the turn time isn't too bad either. The chance to set fire of 6% is pretty shitty, to be honest. I would have liked that to be a bit higher, but I think we might be able to enhance that. Shell damage of HE and AP is not great, but yeah, torpedoes is what I'm most excited about. Now, one glaring obvious bad point there is torpedo range of 7.5 Ks, so you've got to get in pretty damn close to launch those 8 torpedoes. Now 7.5 is actually not too bad. We'll have a look at the concealment in a moment, but that does definitely put you at risk of being spotted by a lot of ships, especially once they're launching aircraft and sonar, etc. My beloved Fubuki at Tier 5, who is my favourite destroyer, actually has a torpedo range of 10 kilometres. So that should give you a pretty good idea of that range not being great. Torpedo speeds, I think, a little bit higher than normal for an American destroyer. I think they're usually in the 50s, but 60 knots, look, that's okay. It's still not great, but I guess you've got 8 torpedoes, so it's not the worst in the world. Now, the reload time is at 81.6. You're looking at nearly a minute and a half. Again, you've got 8 torpedoes, so I guess that's sort of fair enough. And maximum damage is 9.6. Now, I think that's probably not the most damage out there, but it's decent enough. I mean, once you start getting 2, 3, 4 hits, yeah, you're going to be pretty happy. And the torpedo detectability range by sea, 1.1 kilometres. Nice. Manoeuvrability max speed's 37.6, so that's yeah, that's pretty decent. Turning circle radius is okay. Rudder shift time's pretty good. Now this is probably the most important part to this ship. Detectability range by sea is 6.3. So if you remember, the torpedo range was 7.5. That gives us 1.2 kilometres where we're not going to be detected, and you can get into range of your torpedo. So it's going to be a pretty fine line there, a bit of a razor's edge. Of course, there are other ways around that. Detectability range by air is 3.5. I think that's pretty standard. Guaranteed detectability range, 2Ks. Well, if you're at 2Ks away from someone, that's yeah, you're pretty much going to be spotted. And while firing in smoke is 2.6. So, okay. It's going to be a little bit challenging, but challenge is good, right? Now, our camo is the usual premium permanent camo. It's minus 0.5 for detectability and plus 0.5 for fire dispersion. So that's pretty cool. No need to chuck another camo on this ever. That's pretty damn good. Okay, now let's have a look at what upgrades she has. So you have the pretty typical upgrades here. Dispersion of main battery, torpedo launcher traverse speed, pretty much all useless stuff for a ship like this. I'd love to see torpedo reload speed on there instead. And then of course you've got your main battery traverse speed, which is again pretty pointless, and that adds to your battery reload time. So the first options really aren't great. I guess you're always going to go aiming systems mods, aren't you? So let's just do that. It's only 200. Okay, so second option. Let's have a look here. So we've got some pretty good options here. Time to reach full power, which could be which is 50%, which is pretty good. The rudder shift time, which is personally what I'd nearly always go. And damage control party definitely would be something of a bonus. But I'm going to do rudder shift time. Now, I'm sure the last and most expensive. Okay, so this would be my 99.999999% option to go on a destroyer. You know, you always want your detectability range to be less. And that incoming fire dispersion of 5% is pretty good. But the 10% is really good. So that would, I'm just trying to remember now, I think it was 6.3 Ks was our detectability range. So yeah, you are looking at under 6 kilometers then, which is very good. But it is 2 million, and look, I do have a lot of currency sitting there, which I've just been stockpiling, waiting for when they bring in some new ships that I'm really interested in. So right now, I'm not going to use that concealment system mod 1, but I will be purchasing that probably once I get over 52 million, and that way when I spend it I'm still over 50 million. I'm a bit funny like that. Okay, so we are ready to go. We are ready to have our first play in the BENHAM. Now this is pretty exciting. I do love destroyers. I'm not really a big fan of the American destroyers. Fletcher I sort of do enjoy, but anyone that sort of watches my channel will know I'm not really a big fan of Tier 7. Unfortunately, this ship might end up being in Tier 7. And I'm not really a huge fan of Tier 6 either. I love Tier 4 and 5, and so let's say 3, 4 and 5. I think they're the best tiers. So much fun. Such a good mix and balance of ships. But it is fun to go to the higher tiers now and then. And look, I do have a lot of high tier ships, so I do end up using them. But yeah, pretty excited about this. Let's hope that the 8 torpedo launches is good fun. So let's have our first game. Actually, it's quite funny. Now I think of it, I haven't noticed many BENHAMs out there. Although, to be honest, like I said a bit earlier, I don't play a lot of Tier 6 and Tier 7, so that would make sense. Okay, sorry to anyone that's got chat enabled, because I'm just doing a bit of a video here, so you might want to mute me. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a look at the map here now. Obviously, I want to get into some action to really test out this ship. Let's have a look here if we do that. Alright, switch that to narrow angle. That's pretty cool, 8 launches. B is going to leave us a little bit exposed. But, what the hell, let's do it. Now, I'm pretty interested to see how this ship goes against another destroyer. Test out the guns, test out our fire rate. You know, it's one thing to have a look at the stats, but real world use I think is always a little bit different. We're coming up against a, well, there you go, a BENHAM and a MAS. Nice. The MAS is a very nice destroyer. German destroyers are probably my second favourites, just behind the Japanese ones, but my Japanese destroyers are my clear favourite, and I mean clear favourite. It's a nice juicy juicy battleship target for us. Now hopefully there's a destroyer at either end here, and we're going to have this objective to ourselves. Are we that lucky today? Are we that lucky? I want to try and stay inside, so I'm going to slow down a bit here. Definitely no sign of that second destroyer. Now that's the unfortunate thing, is so destroyers are fairly short range, so if I was in a Japanese ship right now, I'd be firing off a really good salvo at that California. But I just need to be happy with the fact I've got a free premium destroyer here, so no more complaining. You won't hear me complain again. Okay. Now there she goes. As you can see, the Akatsuki has fired off some. Looks like we're alone for the moment. So we're going to come in for a little bit of a run at the California here. Now remembering that we have 7.5k torpedo range, but a 6.5k visibility. Now, as you can see, we're already skirting that, and he's going to be out of range. So, definitely going to have to be upping your skill here to make runs at battleships without being spotted. So I'm just going to let the California go. Usually on my first plays I'm very aggressive, but I would like to give this ship a... Okay, here we go. She looks like... And she is. Okay, so we've got a Benham coming in here. I'm going to fire one, fire two. She's about to spot us. She run into my torpedoes. She stopped. She stopped it in her tracks. She takes off again and tries to follow our buddy there in the Akatsuki. And she has. She's going to maneuver through them. No, she's going to hit one. No? Oh, okay, we're going to take our gamble now and have some shots. Let's see what these guns are like. Now she is another Benham, of course, so that's pretty cool. Guns do seem a little bit inaccurate, but that's the way it goes sometimes. I wish she had a little sonar or something there. Okay, dodge the...
Torpedoes to port.
Did she launch all her torpedoes in? Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. Well, we're going to launch two big salvos into the smoke there. I'm not sure where she is. There she is. Hopefully we can be a bit more lucky with our torps this time. And we are! Nice, nice, nice. Except for the fact we've got a another destroyer right behind us. But she's got her attention on something else. Good. Some nice shots there on the mast. I feel a bit bad destroying her because I do love German destroyers. Looks like her engine's disabled there. She is gone. Alright, so that's a pretty good start. Okay, King George. Single, narrow angle. Now this is the trick, getting close enough to launch some torpedoes, not be spotted by her aircraft and not be spotted by the ship. Now we've got no friendly contacts out there, so she's probably going to spot us with the aircraft right now. We are behind smoke, but as you can see she's going away from us, so we're never going to get a good torpedo run there, but She's going to do one of two things, isn't she? She's going to pull around to the left, in which case we'll meet her on the other side of these islands. Actually, I'm going to remember to stay out of visual range. Well, I guess she's going to do three things. Either go to the left and use the islands as cover, go to the right using the islands as cover, or she's going to make a run for it and try and just survive the game, which is no good for us. Okay, looks like she's going to do a big right-hand turn there. So the question for us now is, do we move across to the Alpha flag, or do we go after her? Let's see what our buddies here they've got a Shan horse, then we've got a cruiser. It looks like she's not doing anything. Oh no, okay, Pensacola, she's fine. Oh, they should take care of her. So let's head over where the action is. Let's head over to the Alpha point. Now she's reasonably fast, which is good. And reasonably manoeuvrable now. We did upgrade her, of course, if you remember. Now I'm pretty happy with those torpedo spreads. They're pretty good, and they look. The reload time is definitely not fantastic, but I guess when you take into the fact that her guns are pretty decent, you can sort of close in like you can with the Fletcher, say, or close in for a bit of a torpedo run, then use your guns. So I guess you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? You've got to give up something in this game. Every ship has to have a downside. Okay, so I'm going to try and make a run here. One of these battleships, if they're going to play ball. So what you sort of need to do is plan ahead. Sort of try and intercept ships with this short torpedo range. I mean, you might say, well, 7.5 Ks, it's a pretty long range, but it's actually not. I'm just trying to see, as you can see, where as soon as she hits this island on our port side, we're going to come in. Okay, here we go. We're going to come in and try and get nice and close. So we've used our engine boost here. You can see her range is really closing. 8.5, 8.2, 8. We're going to do a nice big, here we go. We're going to do a nice big barrage of torpedoes here. Firing 1. Firing 2. Okay, so we've got now a minute and a half or so to wait. Now hopefully that, well, because we got spotted by our aircraft, but I was going to say hopefully that island that have left us hidden. Why not? If we're spotted anyway, have some HE shells. Okay, and we're not spotted anymore. We set a nice fire, so pretty happy about that. Now I think her repair party would have been used in her previous action. Now it looks like she's slowed down a lot, so I think those torpedoes are possibly going to miss. They are. Oh. I'm going to take advantage of that. And she's quite smart there. She's slowed down a lot. It looks like she's turning, actually. Maybe slightly, but we're going to come in anyway. Now I'm just going to guess her speed here, and we're going to launch... launch one more there. Let's try and stay away. Oh, she's gone anyway. Well, there goes that idea. But I think this second lot probably would have hit the target anyway. But we will get another chance, as there is another battleship out here. They're nice now. She's a fair way away, but again, we are going to have an intercept course. If we can... Looks like she is chasing after our buddy here, and she certainly is. Queen Elizabeth's on pretty low health there. I reckon she's probably going to get her pretty damn quickly. Let's see if we can... Unfortunately, we don't have our speed boost anymore. Nose now is reasonably fast, so hopefully the combination of our two speeds intersecting here. Now she's going to possibly spin right around, and yes, she is now. So she's spinning around the other way though, so I think she's going into survival mode here, which is going to make it pretty difficult for us because yeah, we don't have those long-range torpedoes. I don't know how capable we're going to be here of chasing her down. I know she did slow down a lot there. She's actually pulling away here. So I think this is going to be a very boring part of the video, unless I decide to do a smoke screen and then fire rounds at her. Now the Ks have dropped because she's doing a complete U-turn. Now the King George has finally been sunk, so let's have a look here. So let's fire off some shots here just in case she's going to turn. Let's turn around and give her the other side. Now it is nice to have 16 torpedoes. If any of them hit. We'll launch off one more and we'll save a backup pair just for fun. Well, we're going to get some hits. Not enough though. As you can see, our buddy there has chimed in with a few. Let's fire one inside. Now I'm going to pop smoke here and start giving her some fire to think about. Now of course she's just popped her repair party, so any fires we get will be burning. Now let's see if that smoke, our beautiful extended smoke, will help us, and it has already. Oh, unfortunately I think we're going to miss again. Oh, we are, but it's alright, we've got her on fire. She's turning in again. And we've got a chance for more torpedoes here. We're going to fire one on the inside in case she keeps turning, which I think she will. The hard thing is getting... she's right at the edge of our smoke now. Hopefully we can get some juicy torpedo hits there. Of course we're lucky enough here, and we did. And we did. She must be pretty... and there she goes. I was going to say, she must be pretty close to being sunk. So there you go, that's the first battle in my new Tier 6 Premium American destroyer, the USS BENHAM. I was pretty happy with that. Usually my first plays I play very aggressively just to test it out, but that time I played a little bit more seriously. And I think it was pretty good, but we got 3 sunk ships, plenty of torpedo hits, some good fires, lots of flooding, a capture. As you can see there, I've still got the shakedown trials going, even though the reward is nothing now. But what the hell. And we're well on our way to our 25,000 knocking off the Rust -1. So that looks like it's going to be pretty easy accomplishment, I should say. And I got a premium supplies done as well. So pretty happy with that. So thanks for watching this first game in the BENHAM. I was really happy to finally get there and unlock it. Pretty cool, pretty high reward game there for my first game. So yeah, pretty happy about that. And I'm up to the 52 million exactly now, so I could spend my 2 million, which we might just quickly do, and get our concealment mod. Beautiful. So now I have exactly 50 million in the bank, if that's right. And it is. That's pretty cool. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope you'll check out the rest of my channel, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.